After what feels like the longest international break in football in history, Rangers return as Stephen Smith leads us to battle. Welcome back to the channel. It's crazy. He is. Fireworks are going off, man. That's how good Stephen Smith is, right? But he could be potentially the second of four managers this season for Rangers, right? And that looks like at a minimum, because it looks like Neil McCann's going to take the job until Muscat comes in. I mean, that is just a surreal stat there, man. That this guy could be second of four managers, right? We're in October. I mean, four managers in this. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of interns in there, right? But that's still surreal. That is actually crazy that that's even being uttered, man. That within the next couple of weeks we're going to have three managers. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But one thing that's not crazy is the fact we need to win this game of football, man. We need 3 points. It doesn't matter how we get it. I mean, I do believe the performance of this game will be better than any game we've seen domestically, because it just has to be. I mean, what has been the best domestic performance this season? I mean, I think without a shadow of a doubt it was the Hibs game, and the Hibs game wasn't even that good. We won 2-0 because Hibs couldn't finish their dinner, and Martin Boyle, regardless how many times he's offside, doesn't know how to stay onside. So for me, it wouldn't be hard to achieve that, but we've got to get the result, got to get 3 points. Now, we'll dive into what Stephen Smith said right here, right now. He was asked if Muscat was the right man to take Rangers forward, and he spoke a bit about him. And I quote, "Probably. It's an interesting question. Obviously, in the past 4 or 5 years, we've had different types of managers. There's no guarantee of success anywhere. It's really difficult to guarantee success when you're at a club where the expectation is to win all the time. That's never going to happen, but we've experienced different managers, whether it be managers that have played here, managers deemed head coach types that are more tactical. So we've had every type of manager, but the priority is always to win. I was a young player during Muscat's time at Ibrox, so I only came across him a few times. My job used to be to clean Alex McLeish's and the coaching staff's boots, so I used to pass him in the corridor, and as a person, he was really pleasant." End of quote. So, here. He's never going to turn around and say, "Nah, I don't think he's the guy for the job." Of course he's going to back him, right? Stephen Smith is a guy that spent a lot of years of this guy's life, man, right? At Rangers. And you know what I wish, man? I hope these shiftless bastards that we call players, right? Because that is what we're getting at here, right? As my mic just completely falls on its arse. It's like, you just called them that, Stevie. I did. Because see, as much as blame as Russell Martin's got to take, let's not pretend the performances, right, are 100,000,000% down to Russell Martin. Players have got to take a bit of responsibility as well. The red cards, just the amateur hour defending in certain elements, the lack of finishing, right? As bad as Martin is, we're going to see if these players can step up, and we could seriously be looking at, over the course of the next couple of weeks, them throwing a bunch of other managers under the bus. They could be throwing Stephen Smith under the bus tomorrow. I think that's probably going to be his only game. I believe Muscat will probably get announced Monday, because that's just when it I tell you what, man, Shanghai Port were playing the day. I don't even know what the score was. I know they were getting beat, and they managed to at least claw it back. I need to probably check that out. But yeah, I mean, it's just a bit of a mess, the entire situation, isn't it? Because we talked about it earlier in Fog Football, check it out. But you could be looking at a situation where Stevie Smith and Neil McCann could do a great job, and Muscat comes in and does a worse job. Or you could be looking at a situation where those two do a fucking horrific job, like Martin. Players will come under a lot of scrutiny and criticism, which is rightfully, that's correct, right? But then you're going to be like, "Well, Muscat, you should have come in. You could have avoided this. You could have sorted us out." It's almost like a lose-lose situation for Muscat. I mean, we need to win every game. There's no two ways about it. But I almost feel like for Kevin Muscat, it would almost be better for him in a weird way if Stephen Smith and Neil McCann, I don't want to say lackluster start, because we really need to win every game, but it would suit Kevin Muscat more for me if we were very lackluster but still won all the games, and like domestically, because Europe's going to be tough. I mean, especially that Roma game, right? But because if you're looking at these guys coming in and bloody playing some great football, and Muscat comes in and say like it's yeah, it's a small percentage, but say he lost like the first 3 games of his tenure at the end of November, start of December. It's like, what the it's going to look like a clown show. It is. Now, hopefully, what happens is when we begin tomorrow, he wins. Neil McCann wins 7 games, and then Muscat wins every game until the end of the season. But that's wishful thinking. I feel like last couple of years we're the king of wishful thinking. Aye, we are, but yeah, wishing gets you nowhere. Thinking gets you nowhere. We need absolutes here. And the reality is, Stephen Smith is a youth coach. He's been flung into the Lions' den here. It's an absolute disaster. Let's not pretend that this was always the plan when we got rid of Martin, because if the board got what they wanted, Gerrard would be sitting in the hot seat right now. Make no mistake about it. It wouldn't be Stephen Smith. It would be Stevie G. It wouldn't be Stevie S. It wouldn't be Stevie C. It would be Stevie G. And he's not here. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I tell you what, the players, they've kind of escaped a lot of criticism under Martin. It's time to step up to task now. And I don't think it's going to take 3, 4, 5 bad performances. If we rock up tomorrow afternoon at Ibrox and we're shite and we drop points, Stephen Smith, he's going to get a free pass. It is going to be all on the players. It has to be all on the players, because it's not just... You can blame Martin all the way, right? And he needed to go for me after the Dundee game back in the 9th of August or something like that, because you can't be drawing the first 2 league games of the season, man. I understand why you don't sack him, but for me that's when I would have sacked him. It dragged on too long, as we know. But we are seeing a whole host of players in this squad go away on international breaks, start for some great teams, right? Put in some great performances, and when we see them come back, for us, they look like they can't even kick a ball. And then you've got players that, alright, don't get picked for international duty, but there's no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame in not getting picked for international duty. No, it depends. If your nation's like fucking San Marino and you're not getting picked, then you won't be playing for us. But there's some players that you've seen over the years play for us and that they might never get called up for their international team. That's just the way it works. Maybe their international team's too good. But the reality is, sitting here, man, it's like you can't be doing these performances during the international. But I mean, like Raskin, like the likes of Cornelius, like even John Suter. I mean, Taylor Asgard. I could go on to name a lot more folks. We're seeing these guys step up to task for their nations. It's time to step up to task as a unit for Rangers Football Club, because regardless of what you think, man, we are spending a lot more money than the majority of teams in this league, and we are looking worse than the majority of the teams in this league. Something has to give, and surely tomorrow it's going to be, finally, we're going to see a resemblance of decent players on that pitch. They're going to step up to task, and we're hopefully going to walk away with 3 points, because there's been a lot of negativity. I don't need to go over all the negativity so far this season. There's a whole fucking playlist dedicated to it in the news and transfer section on this channel. We're all aware of it. I'm not going to bore you to death with everything that's went wrong this season. All you need to know is pretty much everything's went wrong. But if we don't win the Mora and it's a shite performance, then I don't know where we go from here, because that is going to increase the pressure tenfold on Muscat in this board, because it's going to be like, well, we need you fucking now, son. I mean, we need him now anyway, but if we start losing games under McCann and Stevie Smith, fuck knows what happens. Anyway, I'm going to go 2-0 Rangers, clean sheet, 3 points, easy win, hopefully, fingers crossed. Till then, though, peace.